Hi guys, I'm hoping for a good connection today. I just wanted to say that, I don't know what I want to say. No, so I just wanted to start out by thanking you for joining me, and I hope I have something to give to you today. I really envision this being a place where we can interact, so anybody seeing this, there's no one currently listening, so you're gonna, if you're hearing this now, you're hearing it after the fact. So just know that in any of these live recordings, I am very happy to answer questions and interact with you guys, so please don't hesitate to ask questions afterwards. If you're curious about something you didn't quite understand, please comment, message me, email me, whatever. I will kind of expound on what I'm saying. I understand some of these concepts that I discuss I didn't come to right away. I came to through experience and practice and just years of trying to better myself. So that's all we have, is the desire to improve upon what our moment is right now. And that's what I want to talk about today, is how you view your moment right now. I want to talk about perfectionism and how it really poisons our moments. So I looked up the definition, just typed it into Google, and the definition of perfectionism is refusal to accept any standard short of perfection. So in mindfulness and DBT, which has huge influence on what I've of these, the ideas that have come to me and how I live my life. That's dialectical behavior therapy. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. It's a therapy developed by Marsha Linehan. She kind of went off of cognitive behavior therapy. She's a psychotherapist, psychologist. Sorry, Marsha, I'm not really sure, but anyway, she's a therapist, and she developed this way of thinking, and it has the key component to dialectical behavior therapy is mindfulness and being able to accept things as they are, being able to handle. It's just tools to use dealing with reality as it is, regardless of how you wish it could be. So that's what I want to talk about today, is that ability to accept things even though they're not perfect. And then because when you don't accept things the way they are, when you look at someone or something, either yourself, something that's in your world that you don't like, or something that you see from someone else that you're like, that's not right, it's fine to make judgments, but I always say carry judgment as little as possible, because it's a heavy burden to bear, and it just makes us sad. It makes us, it weighs us down. So unless you absolutely have to judge, don't do it. Now, we make judgments every day. You judge whether you like vanilla or chocolate better when you're ordering ice cream, that kind of thing. But you can hold those judgments very lightly. You can, I guess, not judge those decisions. It's kind of, I guess it's semantics and it gets confusing. But if you decide that you're a better person because you prefer vanilla over chocolate, then that's a judgment that really adds unnecessary suffering to your life. And you may not think of it as suffering, but it's a negative energy. It's a negative force, and I mean, it's fine to be silly and say, I'm better than you because I like vanilla and you like chocolate. But if you take these things seriously, if you take them to heart, then that's where it weighs on you, and where the perspective I want to look at, or the aspect, is when we judge ourselves by the rule of perfection, when we look at our actions and our thoughts, and the way that we influence the world, and we judge it based on what we think perfection is, or based on what we think things should be like. So we say, wow, I'm super messy. I really should clean up more. And this thought occurs to me mostly when I'm running late and I don't have time to clean. And so I'm like, wow, this house is a mess. I really should have cleaned it up earlier. And now I'm rushing out the door and I don't have time. I'm such a horrible person. Something to that effect. And what I've learned to do instead that brings me joy is when that thought comes to me, wow, this house is really messy. I should have cleaned it before. I stop myself and I think, well, yeah, it's messy. And the reason that it's messy is because people live here. And even if you're single and your house is messy, it means that you're doing a lot. Because if you were just sitting in a chair doing nothing, it wouldn't get messy. So the mess is evidence of life lived. And if you're living a joyful life, then it's a joyful mess. I hope that makes sense. So that is the basis for my discussion today, is just be careful of holding yourself to what you think is perfect and holding others to that standard as well, because it doesn't do anyone any good. Instead, what we should do is say, well, I don't like what I see. I wish things were, perhaps it's more, I like when things are cleaner, when things are straightened up. I don't like chaos. And that's okay to say, but in this moment, as I'm rushing out the door, it's more important to me to be on time than for this area to be straightened up. And perhaps in order to make my moment better, I will focus on what is in front of me versus, what I have to do right now. I'm running out the door to work. It's more important for me to not worry about this mess right now. Just let it be. Don't let it hang in the back of my mind, taunting me, but just to walk away from it and focus on how can I make my next moment even better, even more enjoyable? What can I focus on that is good? And so you leave the house, you don't worry about the mess, and you kind of make a mental check. Hey, I will revisit this after I'm done with the action that's in front of me. So then your head is clear so that you can look at the action in front of you and make good choices based on the things that are right in front of you, instead of letting that guilt cling to you that you left behind in your house. And then later after work, you can come home and then you can kind of decide, I don't have enough energy to straighten up my house, but it would make my moment a little bit better if I just spent 5 minutes clearing out or clearing away a neat spot so that I can sit calmly and relax from my day and kind of decompress and all that. So, let me know if that makes sense. Tell me if you have questions about that, or if you have any thoughts concerning that, if you agree, if you have a better way of wording it. This is something that is a constant struggle, especially for moms. I know it from the perspective of being a mom and even an employee and a sister and all this, is that we constantly pick at ourselves and we constantly wish we were a different person, a better person. I wish I was more polite to that person that I was just rude to. I wish I was, I wish I cooked my children healthier meals and wasn't in such a hurry all the time. I wish this, I wish that. And that wishing really affects us. It weighs on us and it brings a negative energy to our world, and it affects everyone around us. So if we relax more and we say, this messy room is bothering me, what can I do, to make this better in this moment, and then we can kind of make a decision about how we want to proceed. But we can do that from a standpoint of, I have a lot of blessings, therefore I have a lot of work to do in order to keep up with those blessings. I'm a little bit scattered today. I started a 30-day blogging challenge, and I'll point you guys to that. I'll put a link down below. I have two blogs, but they're very similar. One of them you guys probably already know is my mindfuljoysearch.com. If you go there, you'll see the original blog and the one that I want to continue working on also. But then if you go to mindfuljoysearch.net, you'll see my brand new blog. I'm on day 2 of a 30-day challenge of letting go. So, and actually today, the perfectionism was what I spoke about in that blog. So you can go there and kind of get another view on how I view this whole perfectionism thing and how you can let go of it. And then you can comment there. Also, ton of ways to contact me. So please, if you have any questions or comments or whatever, please contact me. I'm always willing to talk about this stuff. So this mindfulness, this finding joy in every moment, this is how I've gained peace in my life. This is how I've escaped those negative thought patterns and those negative feelings that come to me. And I didn't get rid of them. Those negative forces are all around us. They come in from sources outside of us. They come from sources within. So, I mean, the negativity exists, but I have tools now. And part of this perfectionism and letting it go is one of the tools that I use often to make my life more peaceful, more joyful, to accept my messy house as it is, and to love the people in my life that kind of cause that mess. And then if I'm more peaceful and more joyful and not so uptight about the mess, I can get their help a lot more easily, or I can just clean it up, because obviously it's not bothering them, it's bothering me. So in order for me to be happy, then I clean it up. But anyway, that's a whole nother story, I think. But I think I love to keep these kind of short and simple, just a little bite for you to take and chew on, and then maybe use it throughout your week, and then let me know, did it help, didn't it help, and just kind of give me your criticism on it. I like criticism, I like feedback, because it helps me to improve your moment when I do these, and it helps me to improve my moment in my daily life. I mean, I don't think anyone should just be a teacher. I think we should all be teacher and student. We all need to learn. So talk to me, let me know how I can better improve these talks. And I'm looking for a way to record these better. My connection seems to always be weak in spots. So I need to kind of try out some platforms. I want to try and do that this week. And if you have any suggestions for better, what's it called? Anyway, for posting these live videos, if there's a different website or different platform I can use, please email me and share that information with me. Let me know. Also, check out my blogs. Tell me what you think of those. And I don't know, I have a ton of resources, so if you guys are looking, maybe the DBT sounds interesting to you, let me know. I have just a slew of resources that you guys can use to learn more about that therapy. It's, I think it was developed for those with borderline personality disorder, which if you've never heard of that disorder, you're probably thinking of something way different, because the name implies, I don't know, it's easy to make assumptions about that. But anyway, I'm going off on a rabbit chase or whatever, but DBT, actually, I don't have borderline personality disorder, but I've suffered with severe chronic depression, chronic fatigue syndrome, and migraines. DBT can help with all of that, because it's a very good skill for pain management. It's a good skill for emotional regulation. Anyway, it's been helpful, and it's been the major driving force in what has led me to this creation of Just Love, and what has led me to trying to help others achieve happiness through allowing the world and people and yourself to be as you are right now, and to be okay with everything as it is right now, and to improve upon your moment from where you are and not where you wish you could be, because you can very easily end up just wishing your life away and just spending your life in suffering, wishing it were something different, instead of enjoying each and every blessing that's right here and right now, and being okay with the flaws and the pain and the suffering that we're all going to go through. We don't learn lessons without that stuff anyway. So we can see the blessings in our suffering, and then we can grow from our suffering. Or we can just feel our suffering's unfair and we can drown in it. And I almost did drown in it. And every day we see people who are unable to climb out of their suffering. And I don't think that's necessary. I think it's preventable for each one of us to find a way out and to find that rope, which is just acceptance, just non-judgmental stance, just calming down enough so that we can reduce our suffering and increase our joy. I hope watching this has done that for you, that it will give you a tool to find more joy in your day and to not let the suffering of life affect you so intensely. Give me comments, let me know, give me feedback. Thank you, Dana and Kai, for watching this. I appreciate it. And anyway, you guys have a beautiful, lovely Sunday and have a beautiful week, or whatever day it is that you're watching this. And please do hit me up. I love being talked to. So I guess we all do, right? Guys, have